Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday, the 20th day of August, 2026. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your families are safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health, along with first responders risking their lives often every day to save lives every day. Those also that do the dirty work of picking up garbage, keep our towns and cities clean, and those that do the humble work of making deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the unfortunate victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those that are doing the heroic work of helping the people that are victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perverts, all the profiteers, all those that participate in these industries, from pornography to prostitution. Whatever you're doing to spend dollars on these evil industries, you're destroying people. Double curses upon you. Double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, and military veterans homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So I'm looking at Spot Rack, and I'm looking at the New York Knicks roster. Now, if you look at the roster today, Jordan Clarkson's the oldest player at age 34. Then comes Andre Drummond at age 31. Then comes Josh Hart at RJ Drummond is 33. Josh Hart at 31. They're counting Karl Anthony Towns as 31, but I want to say he's 30, and he will be 31 on November 15th. And Josh Hart, I'm looking at Josh Hart, and this is what Spot Rack does. They add the new year to the player's age even before before their birthday. So I'm looking at Josh Hart, and if I'm not mistaken, Josh Hart, let me see now, he is 31 and he's going to be 32 in March. So those are your older players. Now Brunson is 30. Jalen Brunson is 30. No, he's 29. He'll be 30 on August 31st. And then you got Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is 29. Him and Brunson are 30, August 30th, August 31st, man, right there the same month, one day apart. They'll both be 30 this year. But reason I bring this up is because right now, overall, as we're looking at this situation, the Knicks are $3.27 million under the second apron. And so in order to add, right now, the Knicks have a total, they got a total of 13 players under contract. 3.2 million is not enough for 2 minimum contracts. It's not enough, okay? So you need to generate more money, okay? So let me just go through that again, because some of y'all most of y'all do not listen, but have a lot to say, okay? Listen carefully. 3.2 million is not enough to add 2 players to the roster. Now, we're not talking about two-way players. They don't count toward the apron. But 2 roster paper players don't count. You can't add 2.4 million, 2.1 million. You're going to be more. And they're not going over the second apron. So this is an issue. This is one of them good problems, because you have these problems when you win the championship. And the Knicks did. So this is one of them good problems, as Marlo would say from the wire. This is one of them good problems to have. So now, how are they going to figure out how to add 2 players and get more money? Okay? Now, that's why I'm looking at the ages, you see. Because right now, as the Knicks have just won a championship, and again, many, unfortunately, in Knicks Nation don't understand the concept I'm about to lay on you. I'm glad some of you all on my channel do. But you're in win now mode. What does that mean? That means you're really not stocking up a lot of draft picks and young players. You're trying to give accessories, as I mentioned yesterday, to the vets and the winners that you now have to try to win again. Because once this window of championship opportunity closes, the Knicks are going to have to rebuild all over again. It happens to every team. So they're going to have to rebuild all over again. 2 years from now, you'll start seeing trades for draft capital and young players, okay, when they rebuild about 2 years from now, okay? But now, they're trying to win a chip. So what does that mean? So you got to look at the players that are not rotational players and probably future to see where you can get some money. Now the biggest two future players that we got is Muhammad Diawara, age 21, and Pacome Dadiet, age 21. Now Diawara, they just signed, because Diawara is probably a building block for the future at age 21. And they signed him showing you that's how they're looking at him, a 4-year deal. So he's already locked in as part of the future. And we're all, not all of us, but many of us are expecting him to be part of the rotation this season, which is saying a lot. To add a young boy like that to a championship rotation is big, big time, okay? But Dadiet has never been in a rotation. Dadiet has been developing. Dadiet is the future. And on October 31st, the Knicks must decide whether to exercise the team option on Dadiet at $5.4 million. That $5.4 million will count against next year's cap, not this year. But if you move Dadiet into somebody's space, because right now he's almost $3 million, that puts $3 more million to your bottom line. So you go from 3.2 to 6.2. But if you do that, you still need to add 3 players. So this is going to be a tough thing. The numbers are going to be tight. And the Don has, in the past, did things like this with Brock Aller down to the dollar. They work like that. So right now, if you were to move Dadiet into somebody's cap space, a team that has cap space, that can swallow up Dadiet, and maybe give you a contract back that's more along the lines of Tyler Kolek's 2.3 million. You could get that, okay? Or even Muhammad Diawara, 2.6, one a little cheaper than that, but something like that. You can get that. So now you've replaced almost 3 million with, like, let's say 2.4. So now you got 600,000 more. That's 3 minus 2.4 is 6. 24 minus 30 minus 24, I'm trying to help you now, is 6. So 600,000 gets added to 3.2 million on the second apron by such a move like this now, okay? So now that puts you to 3.8 million. Now, what could you do with 3.8 million? Now, that's still that's not enough money to add 2 more $2 million contracts. But remember, you got the $1.3 million second round exception with Tyler Nickel. Okay. Then what you would have left after that 1.3, 2.5. And the Don will squeeze a player in somewhere that's less than 2.5. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you logically look at this and stop talking about trading a rotation piece at 25 years old and deuce, stupid. But if you look at this logically and you're in win now mode, you can now move a Pacome Dadiet, who's future value, and get in return for him something of lesser value. So, and again, I'm just throwing out names, but that doesn't mean, I don't need y'all giving me your stupid scouting reports about who you think it's going to be. What I'm saying to you is, it's going to be a number. It's going to represent a number. Let me say it again. It's going to represent a number. Okay? So, 3.2 million now. If you can move Pacome. Now, if you just move him into space, that 3.2 million now becomes 6, that becomes, 7.1 million, but you're still going to need 3 players. So you could then add 2 minimum contracts, 2.4 or less, and the 1.3 for Tyler, and still be under the second apron. This is the key here. This is a numbers game. I'm going to say it again for y'all in the back. This is a numbers game. Okay, somebody gonna say, "Well, I like Pacome for the future." After I'm talking to y'all about why that's not gonna happen. Anyway, so then by moving Pacome next summer, you just freed up $5 million more. Okay, and you're gonna have the difference between that 5 and whatever this minimum contract's gonna be, which you even might be able to waive at the end of the coming season, depending on who it is. Right? So that's what we're doing. But that's why the Muhammad Musa Cisse contract was so valuable, because that was only going to cost the Knicks a total of like $2.2 million. See, and you got a player and cheap money on the numbers. Now, with respect to Cisse, Dallas got to decide by September 1st whether they're going to waive him or not. I think the odds of them waiving him are small now, because they keep talking about all these other players they're trying to move that are really seriously larger contracts. Cisse's a bargain, because if they got $1 million, they will owe him after September 1st. So, even though this is the NBA and it's billions and billions of dollars, nobody's just giving away $1 million. So they're going to have to decide by September 1st whether to waive him or not. If you see Masai Ujiri keep him and pay him that $1 million, then he's got to have another deadline of October 1st for the second $1 million to be guaranteed. So that's what Masai Ujiri's got to make a decision on, because that $1 million is either going to be on your books or it's not. Now, if it's not, we already know what the Knicks going to do. But if it is, we got to go plan B, okay? Plan B, plan C, whatever. The Knicks will do that. Training camp is coming. What y'all need to understand, so this September 1st is for Cisse. October 31st is Dadiet. Okay? In between that, they can have 21 players in camp. 21. Okay? So you're going to have 13 under contract at that time. That means you're going to have 8 guys on Exhibit 10 or Exhibit 9 deals that are trying to make the team. Mostly you're going to talk about centers trying to do that 5 spot, getting that third string center that some of your doofuses are talking about trading Deuce for. But that's what we're talking about. So right now, I guess what I'm saying is they'll be looking to move Dadiet to create more second apron space and get a player that's cheaper than Dadiet. That's cheaper than Dadiet. That's what they'd be looking for. Okay, if they can get a guy that they can, and I don't know, they're going to need 3 two-way contracts. That don't count against the second apron. That's like free money, because you can bring them up for like 50 games. It depends on who it is. Okay, and you got 3 of those guys you can use. So they're scouting that very strongly. That's where Walt Perrin comes in. We got a great team. They know what they're doing. So I'm expecting a Dadiet move between, say, now and the end of October. Okay, I'm expecting a Dadiet move because the money is now very tight and the Knicks need 2 players. Now, it is possible to get somebody under 2.4 million, let's say 2.2 million, and then add nickel. But still, if you do that, you're still talking about 3.5. You're over the second apron. It's close, but you're over, period. So they're not going over. So they need to create a situation where they get more money. That's Dadiet's contract. Now, then you got players like Kolek, say. Kolek is 25. See, Kolek doesn't fit the timeline. Close, but for future value. Future value is more like Diawara and Dadiet, 21. That's future value. 3 or 4 years from now, they'll only be 25. Okay? But Kolek is ready to play now. So Kolek's situation is he's good enough to be in an NBA team's rotation. Okay, he really is. But he's not good enough to demand more minutes from the Knicks, because in front of him is Alvarado, who's 28. Alvarado's in his prime. He's 28. In front of him is Jalen Brunson, who's 30. Okay, going to be 31. Oh, no, he's going to be 30. August the 29th. So you got 2 guys in front of him. That prevents him from getting more minutes. Now, I don't count Deuce in front of him, because at this point, Deuce can play some point guard. In an emergency, he's built like that. But we can see Deuce's natural position is 2 guard. He is so good at 2 guard that Landry Shamet, who's a natural 2 guard, is now a small forward, a shooting guard. Okay, he's naturally a shooting guard, but he's now a small forward because Deuce has locked down the 2 guard spot. So That is why, Deuce is present value, Kolick is present value, Alvarado is present value, along with the starters that we know are present value. Andre Drummond, also Jordan Clarkson, they're present value. So you're not getting rid of them. You need them now because you're in win now. Okay? So Pacome Dadiet, though, is a valuable piece for the future. And you can parlay that to create some space for now. So you're going to have Diawara in your rotation. He's future value. And he's very valuable because you're already planning on playing him in a championship team's rotation at age 21. So he's very valuable. Tyler Nickel is going to be future. Even though Nickel is going to be like 24, he's going to be future because of his shooting ability. And if he improves on defense the way Kolick did, he'll be 2 or 3 years down the road the sharpshooter that you want to have in your rotation. Okay, so that's important. But that's where the Knicks are right now. It's about numbers and it's about money. They're not losing rotational pieces. Some of your knuckleheads still ain't getting that. They're not trading rotational pieces from a championship team. But they'll trade future value. And the two future value is Diawara, who they're not trading, and Dadiet, who I think they will trade, just to create space. I thought they were going to trade Dadiet last year, but they kept him another year. But I'm thinking, this is the year is put up or shut up because they got to decide on October 31st to pay him 5.4 or not. Okay, and I'm going to say the Don's going to say not, because he's not a rotation guy. And it's not his fault now. Again, some of y'all like to find fault. I wish we'd look in the mirror and find more fault. But anyway, it's not Dadiet's fault. He's not ready for the rotation in a championship team and he's only 21. But it's actually good that he is valuable for some teams' future. And the Knicks can use that money for now. So we'll see how this works. They're going to be 21 players in camp. They might be all fighting for 1 or 2 spots and 3-second two-way spots. That's what they're fighting for. Okay, it's going to be a dog fighting camp now. So we're going to see how that is. But if the Knicks could possibly get this situation with the third string center locked up before camp, that would be better. And I believe they really want to do it, but they can't look like some of y'all always looking desperate. We don't need to be desperate. We're looking for an accessory piece. Okay, we're not looking for a rotation piece. We're looking for an accessory piece. So let's see what they can get in that regard. There's still a lot of candidates out there. And again, I'm not talking about Nick Richards, and I damn sure ain't talking about Moses Brown. I'm talking about Adembona is still out there. One of them centers from Charlotte is still out there. Okay, Cichet at this point on August the 20th is still out there because they got till September 1st. So we got really 12 more days to decide on Cichet. That's a Masai Ujiri decision. We will find out, okay? But we're going to see. So there's possibilities out there. And then there was a big trade last night that caused, what's the boy name? Julian Reese, I think the boy name. So, yeah, Julian Reese from the Wizards, 6'9", 250, plays both 5 and 4. He's going to be out there. He just got waived. He's 23 years old. He was on a 2-way deal. The Don loves these type of players. Cheap, upside, and we can put him on 2-way. We'll see. We'll see how this works out. Okay? So there's some possibilities for the Knicks. You and I don't need to worry about picking them for the Don. He's got his job. He knows what he's doing. Okay? He needs you to scout for him. He just needs you to enjoy the ride. So let's enjoy the ride. And I say to you on Thursday today, shalom.